Quawan Charles was a quiet 15-year-old from South Louisiana. His family, which I'm told is huge, describes him as funny. They say he loved his dog and to fish. But on October 30th, Bobby, as they called him, did what a lot of teenagers do. He left his dad's house without permission, along with a friend. His parents wouldn't lay eyes on him again for days after law enforcement would find him dead. Quawan's death is gaining national attention because his family shared a photo of his unrecognizable face beside a photo of Emmett Till. Now, NBCLX is not going to show it. I've seen it, so you don't have to, and just know it's disturbing, and that doesn't even really accurately describe it. Community members are frustrated and confused, calling his death a lynching. I spoke with one of the attorneys representing Quawan's family, Chase Trishelle, who wants to know, where's the outrage? I wanted to ask you, Quawan's name is not one that we see on Twitter as much as we're used to seeing when things like this happen. So for people who don't know, can you talk to me about what you know about what happened to him before his body was found?
What we do know is that Bobby was reported missing on October 30th. Okay. No Amber Alert was issued. The police, from what we can tell, doing our own investigation, is that very little was done. We know the cell phone wasn't pinged until November 2nd, and that's how they ultimately located his body in a neighboring parish, not until November 3rd. So we had 4 days between the missing persons report and the actual discovery of the body. We know that Bobby was last seen with a woman and her 17-year-old son. This family is not well known to Roxanne Nelson. Roxanne is Bobby's mom. We do think Bobby and this young man had some level of relationship. We don't know how close. He wasn't a stranger. We do know that.
So Bobby, his family, Quawan's family calls him Bobby. So we're talking about the same person. But so his
Correct.
family did not know this person, and he was picked up by someone close to his age and his mother.
Correct. And look, it's all a little bit mysterious and nebulous, and that's kind of why it's been frustrating for the family, because they've been asking law enforcement, can you tell us leads? Can you tell us suspects? Can you tell us why no arrest has been made? It's been 13 days since Bobby was reported missing, and we're exactly where we were 13 days ago. No cause of death. They have not released the autopsy report. They have not released the preliminary results, at least giving us a cause of death. None of this has been made public, and it hasn't been told to the family either.
What are you worried happened? What are we worried that this is racially motivated? Like, what is the core of this story that we're missing?
The last person he was seen with was a white woman and a white 17-year-old. There have been allegations from the community that family uses illicit drugs. So we have plenty of questions. We don't have a lot of answers. It's not the position of the family at this point that we know it was racially motivated or that it's a hate crime. But it has all the trappings of that sort of murder. And if you put all the circumstantial evidence together, it leads to the question of why was he killed? And then there's a separate issue, of course, why didn't the police take it more seriously? Compare that with the John Benet Ramsey case, the John Benet effect. And it makes you question, do authorities take certain missing children cases more important than others? Do they prioritize certain kids over other kids?
So
if
people
Bobby
in our
had been white, would they have looked for him harder? That's the refrain from the family. Does it matter that he's black to law enforcement? And then was he killed because he's black? Oh. They're not saying that necessarily that's what happened, but they like to know if that's what happened. And since they're getting no answer from law enforcement, it's making the situation exponentially more frustrating.
And that's what I was going to ask you, because most of our audience is most likely not old enough to remember John Benet Ramsey. So that's what I was going to ask you. Basically, the way people remember that is authorities moved hell and high water to find her. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Bobby Charles is a 15-year-old black kid from rural Louisiana. Where's the outrage? Where's the national news? Where's the police? Where's the FBI? Where are the feds? We've got Baldwin PD, which I heard a story from a reporter today. They might have 10 cops in that entire department. It makes you wonder, why? Where's the attention? Where are the resources? Why didn't they find the kid before 4 days later? And I think the most frustrating thing is for Roxanne and Selena and the family is if they had taken it seriously on October 30th, would he be alive on November 3rd?
Talk to me about the family, because it's hard to imagine going through something like this. And it seems like in a fight or flight situation, they've chosen to fight. But when you talk to them, when there are no cameras around, no people around, how are they?
I don't even know that they've been able to process yet what happened to Bobby. I think there's a little bit of a disconnect between that photograph and then the Bobby they knew, because his body is so unrecognizable. I don't know how long it will take to grieve this. I also know that the only thing that might help is getting some answers. The constant refrain from the family is, we want justice, we want answers. And I think your analogy to the fight or flight is good, because there is a lot of fight in this family.
I guess I wonder, for someone who looks at these all of the time, what detail was it about it that made you so outraged that you were like, I can't not be involved?
The photograph that is being censored. And I'm not saying that as a pejorative to the media. I understand why the photograph is not being shared widely on local outlets and TV stations, and I understand why they're not airing it. However, since we've heard the Emmett Till comparison so often, Mamie Till in 1955 made sure that he had an open casket, and she was quoted as saying, "I wanted the world to see what they did to my baby." So, and Mamie Till's intimations are exactly how I felt. When I saw that photograph, I thought, this is a modern day 1955 Southern United States race-related murder.
I wonder, before I let you go here, what your message is, because, as a white person, you can speak power and privilege into a situation for a Black family, right? So I wonder, for people in these situations who don't know how to feel, or who say, we need more evidence, or, whatever people may say about these situations, how do you communicate to people why this is a big deal right now?
I'm happy that you noticed that and brought that up. And of the 4 attorneys working this case, you have 3 Black men and me. Okay, so it's not that we're I'm not the only man on the team, first and foremost. However, you're absolutely right. Speaking privilege into a situation is something that I'm intimately aware of, especially in the community that we're in. So part of my role, I guess the Martin Luther King comment is, in the end, it's not going to be the words of your enemies you'll remember, it's the silence of your friends. So the reason I'm saying that is because I want people who look like me to see me, a white man in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who's working civil rights cases, and saying, hey, y'all, we're all together in this. Let's do this together. You don't have to be on that side of the fence to support this issue. You don't have to be Black to understand that what happened to Bobby Charles isn't okay. Whether it's racially motivated or whether he's murdered, whether it was an accident and they moved the body, don't you want to know that? Don't you want there not to be another Bobby Charles, white, Black, or any other race? I don't want to be trite and be corny and say this is, we're all part of the human race. But I think until white people start standing up too, it's going to be hard for other people to get on board. It's almost like, take some leadership. Civil rights is not racial. Civil rights is for everybody.
Law enforcement officials have not made any arrests in this case. Chase told me the family's private investigator found photos of the woman and son last seen with Quawan leaving town with a U-Haul, which is concerning to the family, of course. But in terms of next steps, they raised enough money with the help of a GoFundMe to conduct an independent autopsy on Quawan's body to see if it matches what authorities say may have happened to him. Now they're just waiting on the results. The Iberia Parish Sheriff's Office did not respond to our request for comment, but they did speak with our NBC affiliate in Lafayette, Louisiana, News 15, sharing a message for Quawan's family.
This is a priority with the Iberia Parish Sheriff's Office, and we also want them to know and to understand that our investigators deal in facts and not rumors and speculation. So please be patient with us. This is the top of our priority list, but that an investigation does take time.